Good morning, traders. Welcome to the first day of the week, which is Monday, and this is Trade with Me, where we basically tried to analyze market movements and kind of have an idea of what to expect, the direction that we think the market is taking, and hopefully we can get some signals through this. This is not going to be a long video. I'm going to also try to, um, you know, focus on individual um, trading assets or just focus on everything at once. Let's get into it. Okay. As you all know, my basic principle, or must I say, my vision more ever, because that's my vision as part of what I'm doing as I'm sharing information, is to try simplify trading for a lot of people, and but then also to kind of build that image and picture that you don't necessarily need to make trading complicated in order for you to make money. And then I'm also trying to give people a more of a realistic approach where you are analyzing the markets with me, but then you're also able to experience what I experience on a daily basis, like how um, people think because you have experience or you're a pro trader, you constantly see things that other people don't see. It doesn't work like that. In most days, it kind of becomes blank, and you need to also allow yourself that you need to cleanse your mind whenever you come onto a chart to not pretend like you know. You need to act like you don't know, and then kind of scan and have different scenarios before actually deciding that this is what the trading setups are telling you. Because also you want to avoid seeing things that you want to see when you are trading, because sometimes you see things that you want to see and you're not supposed to be seeing that. We are looking for what the market is doing, not what we think the market is doing. What the market is actually doing. Is it moving downwards? Is it moving upwards in that moment? All right. Now here we have USD JPY. It's open on the 1 hour, right? Well, I usually trade in the moment, so long-term trends are not really something that I follow much, but they're useful for me when I'm in a trade that I kind of feel like holding for the day or something like that, because I know sometimes you find that you're having, like, for example, on the 15 minutes you're having a buy that you feel like has an opportunity to reach a certain reward level, but then when you look at the 1 hour, on the 1 hour, um, it just completed like a retest of a sell, and you know that if the retest holds, chances are it's gonna go down, and that time you have buys open. So these are sometimes these are the type of things that kind of put you in the safe, so that you don't get burned out, or you don't get caught up with some bad trades. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the USD JPY on the 1 hour, and we're just gonna kind of go through it and see what we are seeing. Right. For example, here, as you can see, we've been having like an upward movement from the 28th of December. So we've been having kind of an upward movement from the 28th of December. But then it's also worth understanding the meaning behind the upward movement from an 1 hour perspective, right? As you can see, um, this was like a sort of I love to sometimes, as much as, guys, this is a long draw. This is not usually what I look at every day, but I think it's also necessary for me to help you guys open your mind, right? As you can see here, we need to first kind of figure out where we're coming from. There's so many ways. There's so many ways I could predict this. Like, for example, I could rather not focus on like what Head and Shoulders and double tops that were given, where came from, where it broke out, and so on, like using those type of chart patterns. And I could rather just focus on where it broke out from the 28th, right? As you can see, um, we had like what you call, I'd call this a bullish flag, because it is a bullish flag. We had a sort of like a bullish flag around about here, right? For those, for learning purposes, I might just look at the trend line only because it's a breakout of the trend line, but I think it's also very important to understand the structure before. So the structure before was a bullish flag, right? A bullish flag, and broke out of the bullish flag. It broke out of the bullish flag, retested, right? We gave us a retest around this area, and then continued going up. Okay, so that's what we see. That's what we realize when it comes to this trade. Okay, so we can see that we've had we started off obviously with some downtrends, and which was forming in between a bullish flag. And after we broke out of the bullish flag, we had a retest, and then boom, right? And as you can also see, um, a trader would expect this trade to go as high as this area. So you're probably expecting an area like this as a take profit level, right? That's usually what we would target. Okay, but what I predict, what I think is happening here, and based on what I just saw quickly, what I think is happening here, I think we're gonna have ourselves another pattern forming, right? We might have another pattern forming in terms of what we can call a bearish flag. I feel like we might have a move downwards if this area breaks out of the trend line. So what happens if the area breaks out of the trend line? Then obviously we're going to have a fully broken out of a bearish flag. Okay, and then also one thing that gives me a lot of confidence is the structure before the breakout. Guys, it's also very important to understand the structure before the breakout, because you can sit and look at here, right? If you can sit and look at here, it's not a perfect structure, but this is more of like I'd call it a head and yeah, call it more of like a head and shoulder, right? Head and shoulder. We had like a head and shoulder here with a neckline, right? Broke out of it, right? And then we had a retest back down. Or we might also not focus on this. We might focus on the bigger structure here, which is like a W, double bottom, which is a bullish structure. So we had, sorry for that. So we had something like this, right, 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 up, right. So that's what we had. So we had a bearish structure or chart pattern, which is a double bottom, right? And then we had a break out of the double bottom, and then we had a retest back to it, right? And then yeah, and so the story continued, right? So as you can see here, we've seen more of like I'd call it I'd call this more of one, yeah, maybe it's more of a double. I mean a head and shoulder, right? Right for now, because it's still early in the day, guys. It's still very early in the day, so a lot can happen, right? So I call this more of like a head and shoulder. That's the head, and those are the shoulders. So I would expect like maybe a breakout of this area, and then maybe like a retest here, and then boom. Okay, it might happen now, might not happen now, but I'm kind of confident that this might be the area where it finally breaks out, right? Because these are also some of the key areas um, that are critical. So as long as it can play around this area, as long as you can have it playing around here, and then we have like a bearish pattern before. Because it's always important when you have a bearish pattern before the breakout, or depending on the direction, bearish or bullish. When you have that, it kind of gives you a good confirmation and a safe entry for you, right? And in this case, actually, when I'm looking at this, I'm more inclined with this thing breaking out around this area, right? I'm more comfortable if it gives us like a funyana. Um, uh, for my South African guys, you would understand what a funyana is, and I'm sorry for the international guys that I'm yeah, forgetting that we have a diverse audience here. Okay, so yeah, so I'm expecting something like that will top break out, right? To break out, and then maybe like a retest around this area, and then retest here. Well, I didn't mean like a retest around this area, but a resistance area here, and then retest up, and then boom. Okay, so if it's like that, if you're a trader, you would probably enter here. This is the best place to enter because now once it holds and goes down with you, you stand to make more money. Or you could be like the guys that want to play it safe and enter here, or you can be like the guys that want to play very safe and enter here. I love to enter my trades here, right? So I'd enter them there by the with the retest and then down. Okay, and then okay, so let's mark the spots. I think this could be like a sort of the area where it's going to be an area of resistance, where it's gonna retest back to your retest area, and then I would have probably have this area as, because it also seems like a key resistance area. I'd probably have this as one of my stop loss. I mean one of my take profits. Okay, I'd have this as one of my take profits, which is going to be more of like a 1 to 4. And the best thing about also having entering early is that um, the most I need is just to make sure that my stop loss is it's inside this box. Because guys, technically, if this thing goes back into the box, then the trade is as good as failed, right? Because now, yeah, it's no longer like a necessary trade. So I'd have it run about there. But you need to understand this is the 1 hour, guys. So yeah, this is for the guys that are ready to hold, right? Or on the 15 minutes, it's probably gonna make probably gonna take less than what we are looking at. Okay, so yeah, yeah. So that's it in terms of USD JPY. That's what I think can happen. Anything can happen. It might continue consolidating and try to break that and try to continue straight to the the take profit area that I predict, or it might break out of the structure and give us some nice sells, guys. Remember, there's no good or right way, right? And um, you might have a different perspective in terms of what you think is going on or what you think is taking place. We don't see the markets as the same every day. Sometimes these stuff are clear, sometimes they're not. But what really matters is us playing according to the rules. Like, I don't need perfection. The only thing I need is if the trade meets my requirements, if it breaks out of this area, goes back and gives me a retest, I'll enter here and take my trade. If I get here and it decides to do otherwise, it's okay. That's why I have a stop loss, right? If I wanted 100% accurate trades, then I wouldn't have a stop losses, because then why would I have a stop loss if the trade is 100% accurate? Okay, so yeah, yeah. So that's basically what's in it for today. As you can see, guys, if we can go a bit back, we can kind of see what the patterns were like. Right, we had like a down movement, up, down, up, down, up. So maybe that's why I prefer this area, right? Because it also seems like a very good area. Down, up, down, up. So we might have that kind of movement taking place, right? Yeah. Without going further and trying to confuse you guys, I hope this made sense. If there's something that you'd like to share it in the comments. Yeah, but if you need to criticize whatsoever, I think you can keep that to yourself respectfully, because there's no one way to trade, right? But if the criticism is good, you want to collaborate, you want us to share some knowledge, then cool. You know what to do. Cheers. And guys, if you are interested in becoming a part of my community, please make use of the links in the description box. And yeah, let's make 2024 a great year. Sorry for those sounds, guys. I think my network was resetting. Thank you so much.